Next question goes to Dale Meyer. Dale, if re-elected, what will be your number one priority in office?
Well, I think I've already committed a bunch of those. One of the things I wanted to mention, I didn't quite get it in the first 4 minutes, was the fact that downtown we have, programs like the Management Board, the Planning Commission, the Library Commission, the Zoning Board, Parks and Rec, Council and Mayor. All of these people are volunteers in our community. Some of these people that have served on these boards have served on them for over 30 years. That's twice your age. Keep that in mind when you get ready to graduate from school and get out into your community, because it's important that you are the brightest and smartest that we have to offer. You're the ones that are going to be making the decisions going forward. We need you to volunteer your time and get involved in your communities. I started on talking about travels across our state, and certainly recently I was in Bay City and the city received the award for a downtown blueprint options or blueprint opportunities, which included marketing and our streetscape, as well as the historic guidelines that we are working on. And certainly my future employment as mayor, I will continue to work on creating positive images for our community, but also working on positive assets that people can use. Grand Haven, a lot of times we refer back to Petoskey Point, and I think that will be more pointed comments in the future, in the next few minutes possibly, but we are unique. We are not unique as far as having a difficulty within our community. We have severe economic times in our state and our country. But when you look around, we got areas like Point City that have a great big area by the waterfront that's all boarded up. We've got Traverse City, which Dr. Paul just alluded to. They've got 2 areas down there that they haven't been able to get developed in Grand Haven, which has spent a lot of money. And we are here to work positively to make sure that that works going forward.
Dr. Paul, same question. What would be your number one priority?
Well, the number one priority I would have is always going to be what I hear from people. And as I walked around the town campaigning, the number one thing that came up was Petoskey Point. Certainly dealing with it with thoughtful, intelligent strategies, getting as much information as possible for council to make an informed decision. And that's why at this point, I couldn't exactly tell people what would you specifically exactly do at this point. We needed more information. We needed to talk with an attorney. We needed to find out exactly what some of the ramifications were of the city developer agreement. That's going to be my approach. My approach to government is to do what the people want. Interestingly, although I didn't start out that way, as I talked to people and walked around town, one of the huge priorities of the citizens is a pool in the community. And I've never heard the city government talk about that, and other groups have tried to work on that. But it is very interesting that the city doesn't talk about that need in the community, when if you walk around and talk to people, it comes up time and time again. It spans young people, old people, healthy people, people who are trying to rehabilitate from injuries. It's very interesting that we don't talk about that. Maybe it's time we do start to talk about that in the city. But that goes along with some other things we could do a little better in the city, and that's what I look at. We have a great city, but there's probably some things we could do a little better. One of them is called a 6-year capital improvement plan, which is actually required by state law, which we don't currently do. In that plan, we start to outlay for the citizens for the next 6 years what the capital projects are. And the last one was done in 2001. That plan is supposed to be updated yearly. That's the way we get out in the community. This is what we're thinking of doing. This is where we're headed. And people can look at that, and they might citizens say, well, I disagree with that. Why are we doing that? Or maybe they'd say, there's something missing from this list that's really important to the community. That's the kind of discussion we need to move forward in a positive manner.
Thank you, Dr. Paul. We need to take about 2 to 3 seconds. We need to identify this radio station. We are broadcasting live this morning from the auditorium, the stage, at Petoskey High School. It is the debate between the 2 mayoral candidates, Dale Meyer and Dr. Ted Paul.